Hi guys, my name is Allie and I'm back with another video. So tonight we're gonna talk about like addictive personality and co-addictions. It was kind of hard for me to think about how I was gonna word this video and all of that, so I apologize if I'm all over the place. But I suffer with both of these, and actually there is no actual diagnosis for addictive personality. There's no proof that it is genetic or anything like that. There's no a addict gene, though it really does run in families, and addiction can be caused by it's like that whole nature or nurture thing. It can be addiction can come about when you are growing up watching family members struggle with drinking or smoking or struggling with their addictions, and I think that plays a really big role into if you are going to struggle with it or not. I personally believe that it is genetic, but people like my mom, she grew up with addict parents and she's not an addict. So, I think it really depends on a lot of things. I think if you have an addictive personality, it can I think it stems from other diagnoses okay, I'm gonna say diagnoses. Other diagnoses that you may have, like if you have a personality disorder or anxiety or depression or PTSD, that can play a really big role into an addictive personality, or if you have more than one addiction. So I'm going to start off with the addictive personality thing first. So I took some notes on my phone. So some traits, I would say, of people that have an addictive personality: they're really impulsive. They go off of their emotions a lot. They don't really go off of they go off of their first thought, their first instinct. They don't really think things through. They really act on emotion, and sometimes that's really not the smartest thing to do. I really think it's smarter to really think things out, think things through before you act. And I'm learning how to do that myself too. What goes together with that is lack of restraint. You have a hard time controlling yourself. You have a hard time setting boundaries with yourself. People with addictive personalities have trouble with self-discipline and really sticking to things that they want to do. Another one is social isolation. People with addictive personalities, I think a lot of them isolate themselves because they feel like they're alone, and that nobody understands them. But I think it's actually the opposite, because a lot of people suffer with this personality trait, I think. So I think things that you can do to help that is Well, first I'm going to say that it's not impossible to overcome these personality traits. Some people say that, like, people with this personality trait will be like this forever, and I I have seen that in people that I know. I've seen, this addictive personality and their own addictions take over their whole life, and they just never change, and they're just stuck in that constant cycle, of never taking responsibility and, letting their addictive personality just run everything in their life. And that can be very damaging. And you don't have to be addicted to just drugs. What a lot of people do is, like, say you're addicted to drugs and you go to rehab and you get help. They replace that addiction with maybe like shopping and overspending, and then they drain their bank account, or maybe they love gambling, or they're addicted to sex and porn, or there's a lot of things you can be addicted to, or food is a huge one, or cooking to where they don't even leave the kitchen. I've seen a lot of people leave rehab and replace their drug of choice with another addiction because they're still dealing with that addictive personality aspect. So it may seem like, you're stuck with this forever, but it's really possible to overcome it. So let's see. It'll definitely be a lifelong battle, and you should not have to fight that alone. Let's see. So I think that, hold on a second. I think the first thing to really start healing from this addictive personality trait is stop looking at it as a negative thing. People often look at addiction and addictive personalities as a bad thing, due to the stigma attached to drugs and alcohol and gambling and, overspending, a shopping addiction. People look at that as a really bad thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you're an addict if you have an addictive personality. But I think the first step is to stop seeing it as a negative thing, and the second one is really forcing yourself to take action, and I think perseverance plays a lot in that. It's definitely key to get through those moments of impulsivity, and when you have that drive to, maybe run back to your drug of choice, or maybe run to the casino to go gamble, or, I think recognizing that this feeling will not last forever. It is temporary. This compulsion that you have, you will only be uncomfortable temporarily. And I think boredom plays a really big role in that. So I think that keeping yourself busy, finding new hobbies, maybe attending groups to meet other people that deal with the addictions that you deal with, like NA, Narcotics Anonymous, AA for Alcoholics Anonymous. They have groups on gambling addiction, sex addiction, shopping addiction, any addiction that you're suffering with. They have groups in your community for, and you can meet people just like you who are trying to heal themselves. And I think those are the people that you need to surround yourself with when you're trying to overcome this and change your life. So like I said, just recognizing that this feeling is temporary, and that you can do something else to, you know, get over that. Like maybe take a hot shower and just de-stress, or maybe go for a drive, or talk to somebody that you love and trust, and just tell them how you're feeling. Or maybe go for a walk and get some fresh air. You know, there's so many things that you can do. You could, you know, start learning about yourself. Maybe you can start reading a book. I used to love getting lost in books when I, you know, wasn't using and stuff like that. There's so many things that you can do to get through that temporary compulsive feeling. Okay, so another thing that you can do is, you know, take those negative addictions that you have, that addictive personality that you have, and switch it to something, you know, healthier. Like maybe start learning how to properly feed yourself, learn about nutrition, choose to get addicted to the gym, maybe get addicted to being healthy, even though, you know, getting addicted to the gym can be bad. I mean, like, replace these negative things with options that will really help you blossom as a person instead of break you down. Our goal here is to grow, not stand stagnant. Okay, so let's see. You can also, you know, choose to help other people, and in turn that will make you feel good about yourself. Let's see. You know, this doesn't make you a weak person, having this personality trait. Having an addictive personality does not make you a weak person. You can choose to turn that around, and you can choose to, you know, choose other options to help yourself grow, like I said. Also, counseling might help, you know, if you have insurance and stuff. Counseling helps a lot of people get out of their head and show them a new perspective. I'm sure you've heard that 1,000,001 times, but it's the truth. You know, it's the truth. These people that are counselors want to help you. That's why they went into this field. A lot of them have been through the same things that you have been through and can understand where you're coming from. Okay, so then I wanted to talk about the second part of this video. I wanted to talk about co-addictions. Like, this is something I haven't talked about on my channel yet. And one of my friends that I just met on Facebook, she wanted me to, you know, talk about when you struggle with more than one drug of choice. Like, a lot of people who drink, they also smoke cigarettes while drinking. They also, you know, while they're drinking, they might do a line of coke here and there, and that might lead to, you know, smoking crack. You know, a lot of people, a lot of addicts, I should say, are not addicted to just one thing. And I think that makes dealing with your addiction even harder, because if you're addicted to, say, like Xanax and alcohol, that is a way more dangerous thing than just being addicted to alcohol or just being addicted to Xanax, because that mixture can kill you. You know, a lot of addicts forget that, you know, mixing drugs is very dangerous. And when you have more than one drug of choice, you pretty much have to do double the work. And it's not like, say you're addicted to heroin and addicted to Xanax. you're going to go through two different withdrawals. One of them is deadly. Benzo withdrawal and alcohol withdrawal are the most dangerous. You can die from that. You cannot die from heroin withdrawal, but it will feel like you're dying. So I think that dealing with and people might be addicted to one or more substances, and they also might be addicted to gambling. You know, they might get high, get drunk, and then want to go to the casino, and that is like that is like a triple whammy on yourself. You're not just buying alcohol and buying pills, buying coke. You're also spending money gambling at the casino, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and this stuff really is damaging to people. But I think that if you have more than one addiction, you should take the same steps in healing yourself. You really need to recognize that you have a problem. You know, unfortunately, it takes hitting rock bottom for a lot of addicts to come to their senses and really want to get help. And it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to lose everything to finally, you know, treat yourself to a path of sobriety. You know, you don't have to put yourself through that mental and physical torture of, you know, ruining your whole life and then saying, okay, yeah, I'm finally going to get clean. I think the best time to get clean is, you know, of course, when you're ready. You have to be ready. Everyone knows that. You can't get clean for your kids. Well, I mean, you can go and get clean for your kids, for your mom, for your dad, for your brother, for your sister. But if you don't do it for yourself, it most likely is not going to work, and you are going to relapse. And like the tips I gave you on dealing with an addictive personality are very important, because that is what is going to lead you to a path of peace. And like I talked about in my last video, focusing on forgiving yourself and forgiving other people for hurting you is one of the first steps in wanting to better your life and do better for yourself. So I think, you know, ways to deal with not replacing one addiction for another, and really start setting boundaries with yourself and controlling yourself is going back to the basics. First off, I don't think everybody needs to go to rehab, but I think most people do. They need to go to rehab, because there you are getting back to the basics. They give you, you know, medication to help your withdrawals from your drug of choice or multiple drugs of choice. Or even if your addiction isn't a drug, there are rehabs for, just like I said, sex addiction, gambling addiction, shopping addiction. You can find help for anything that you're suffering with. And when you go to these places, they start, like I said, they bring you back to the basics. And at these facilities, they have counselors, they have psychiatrists, they have caseworkers that help you with everything. They will, you know, help you deal with trauma in your past. They will help you deal with things that you have been through in your life. They will help you slowly transition you to being a productive member of society. You know, starting with small things, making your bed, doing your laundry, getting up in the morning for breakfast, eating all of your meals, cleaning up after yourself and cleaning up after other people, helping other people, so they really bring you back to the important things of life. And when you're away from your family and stuff, you start to realize how much you really, miss them and want to be around them. So I think these facilities can help a lot. But like I said, you can do all this stuff on your own if you choose to. But it takes a very strong-willed person to do that. So that's like really all I have to say. I hope that I got the point across to you guys. I hope that I wasn't all over the place and that this makes sense. If you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook, Haight, Haight. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me. And share this where you can to potentially save somebody's life. You are never alone. There are so many people dealing with the same thing that you are dealing with. And if I can get clean, then you can get clean. Thank you guys. Love you.